moideyani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam moideyani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam moideyani lefanecha
Minutes after 6 a.m. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nachum Segal. Welcome to your Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program. We are here today, day 2 of our visit with the NCSY summer programs. Yesterday was a broadcast we did from the incredible Yom NCSY, which I think everybody is still talking about. One of the most massive and amazing celebrations of Jewish youth you'll ever see or hear or witness. And that took place at at the Park Ranana in Israel. Today we are visiting Mechlelet. You may recall last year we visited NCSY Kollel and spent some time in their base medrash. Today we are in Reshit in Beit Shemesh, where Mechlelet and their 132 students, I believe, gather for their NCSY summer program. And therefore we are together with them for the next 3 hours on what we call an Erev Shabbos edition of JM in the AM, because for us this is the Friday morning show, although we are visiting here at Mechlelet on a Thursday morning and afternoon. So it's Erev Shabbos Parshas V'Eschanan, Erev Shabbos Nachamu. Candlelighting in the New York area is going to be 7:47 on this Erev Shabbos. Hope everyone has an amazing Shabbos Nachamu coming up. And we have plenty to talk about, lots to review, and of course we have to attempt to get over all the fatigue of a very long and incredible celebration yesterday at Yom NCSY and present this morning's Friday morning JM in the AM. There'll be no weekly update today. That'll return next week. We'll have an opportunity to speak to the heads and others from the NCSY summer programs, all coming up. Last night, Mordechai Shapiro, he was a big hit at Yom NCSY. He'll kick things off for us on a Friday morning Erev Shabbos. You're listening to JM in the AM.
Kitano bisimcho Yigagaluloy Chasois mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagaluloy Chasois mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo gedoy lamer ishoino Schar mitzvo Ein davar mitzvo Wenn mitut a mitzvo Chaf minach a mitzvo Pereser Oel amazeh Stam elel amabo Schar mitzvo Ein davar mitzvo Wenn mitut a mitzvo Chaf minach a mitzvo Stam elel amabo Oise mitzvo achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu loy Asois mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu loy Asois mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Schar mitzvo Ein davar mitzvo Wenn mitut a mitzvo Chaf minach a mitzvo Pereser Oel amazeh Stam elel amabo Schar mitzvo Ein davar mitzvo Wenn mitut a mitzvo Chaf minach a mitzvo Stam elel amabo Pereser Oel amazeh Stam elel amabo Stam elel amabo Pereser Oel amazeh Stam elel amabo Stam elel amabo a mitzvah, chapen nach a mitzvah. Hey, du sehr, boil am Hase, sabele, oilam haba. Schar mitzvah, eine Dauer mitzvah, wenn du tut a mitzvah, chapen nach a mitzvah. star le'olam habo. Schar mitzvo in the davar kitzvo.
לשמחו לשמחו אל יום לזמר לשמחו אל יום ויאתם מורם לי אילום אתם מורם לי אילום ויאתם מורם לי אילום השם ולזמר לשמחו לשמחו אל יום לזמר לשמחו אל יום וישמיע נגמר כחסתכו חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס בנילויס ויאדי בבוי כרוי חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס ויאדי בבוי כחסתכו חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס בנילויס ויאדי בבוי כרוי חסתכו ויאמו נסחו לשמחו לשמחו אל יום לזמר לשמחו אל יום ויאתם מורם לי אילום אתם מורם לי אילום ויאתם מורם לי אילום השם ולזמר לשמחו לשמחו אל יום לזמר לשמחו אל יום ויאתם בבוי כחסתכו חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס בנילויס ויאדי בבוי כרוי חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס ויאדי בבוי כחסתכו חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס בנילויס ויאדי בבוי כרוי חסתכו ויאמו נסחו בנילויס Good Shabbos, 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 good Shabbos. Hey, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.
JM in the AM. Bowie V'Shalom, that's from Eitan Katz. Before that, we had the Va'ata Maram done by Simcha Leiner. You heard Hashivenu with the Yehuda Green and Mordechai Shapiro's Schar Mitzvah. Mordechai Shapiro, the star of Yom NCSY last night, which means that those of you who are tuned into Thursday morning's JM in the AM, you heard a lot of his live music here on our great radio broadcast. Friday morning on this Erev Shabbos Parshas V'Eschanan, it's Erev Shabbos Nachamu. Big shout out to our friends at Kids of Courage. We'll be joining with them at their big Shabbaton down near Washington, D.C. later today. And Dr. Stewie Dietrich and the incredible staff down there get all the credit in the world for really an amazing and incredible program that they do for young people in very challenging medical situations and their families. So Kids of Courage, a big shout out to you. Also, here we are in Israel during this very, very short visit. Not long enough, that's for sure. We want to thank the Inbal Hotel of Yerushalayim. They, again, are serving as our home base for all of our activities in Israel. They've got a great Thanksgiving plan. I know a lot of you are planning on coming to see your youngsters who are on gap year programs and others during Thanksgiving. If you book 3 nights at the Inbal, your November 23rd Thanksgiving feast is going to be absolutely free with all the traditional favorites plus live music. And their Thanksgiving plan goes from the 19th of November through the 26th of November with all of their usual perks, including the free daily breakfast, the free Wi-Fi, free parking, free access to their fitness and fitness room and pool, fitness center and pool, and everything you'd expect from the great Inbal Hotel. Last night we debuted a brand new program, Mark Zamek's Erev Shabbos show. That happened last night between 7 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Today it'll be encored right after Naomi Nachman and the Table for Two program. That's going to be encored later on this morning. Kedem's presentation of the Erev Shabbos show, followed by the Kedem presentation of the Erev Shabbos music mix, all the way until candlelighting time. That's happening today on a Friday at JM in the AM. And a reminder that Monday is Tu B'Av. We'll be back in our studio with a full program on Monday, after a Sunday with Matis and JM Sunday, and everything you'd expect over the weekend. All right. The noise you hear in the background is the Beit Midrash, the Beis Medrash of Yeshivat Reshit Yerushalayim, which for the summer serves as the Beis Medrash for Michlelet, 130-some students, teenage girls from North America who are here spending this time in Israel. I'm joined by Miriam Al-Wallach, who no doubt is impressed by the activities that are in front of us. Good morning.
Good morning, Nachum. How are you?
Welcome to a Friday.
Do you see what we got you?
What did you get?
It's one of the last Coke Zeros around.
Oh, they're not going to be making it anymore, huh?
No, Yoni actually pointed that out. We should grab as many as possible.
We know what happened the last time that happened, where people were hoarding Coca-Cola.
What happened the last time?
Well, you know, maybe you're too young for this.
All right, so let's skip back to the Beit Midrash.
Years ago, Coca-Cola introduced the new Coke.
Right, that I remember.
So people were hoarding the old Coke because they were, and it's funny because
and for good reason.
Those of us who spent a lot of time in the Pocono region during the summer in those days, there was a lot of leftover old Coke recipe in that region. So we had access to some of the valuable.
See, today
stock.
we would have sold it on eBay.
And they probably are selling it already. Anyways, what do you think? Here we are in this beautiful Beis Medrash at Michlelet, one of the many, many summer programs. A little bit of a calmer atmosphere than yesterday's show from Yom NCSY.
Well, I can hear you, so that's a step in the right direction.
Say that again.
But it's what's going on here is not only a beautiful thing just to watch the girls, and I don't think we should be calling them girls. I mean, that's a mistake on my part.
The teens?
These teens, these young women who are really, I mean, they're here totally lishma. They're not getting credit for school. They're not getting college credits. They are here. And by the way, they could be in a summer camp. They could be doing something else. And instead, they're on this wonderful hybrid program where they spend the morning learning and then they do other things, and there's doing plenty of touring, etc. But there's clearly a unity. There's a vibe in the room of this kind of warmth and togetherness. That's
common goal.
Yeah, and I think it's incredible. And I to me, this is a little bit I mean, this is almost like a birthday present for you, but it's juxtaposed to being at Mesorah and seeing the girls' Beis Medrash there.
Oh,
and
big shout out to our friends in Guilford, New York.
Exactly, and seeing the impressive, the impressive nature of that Beit Midrash, and saying, you know, our female staff members should be learning also, and if they want to learn, why aren't we giving them a space to learn? And here, Reshit is a phenomenal campus, and known for its splendor, so to speak, and its opportunities. And frankly, right now, the air conditioning is just
really
phenomenal.
Strong. Thank goodness.
Right, thank goodness. But there's something to be said for the fact that they moved Michlelet here.
Right.
They didn't put Kollel here. they put Michlelet here, and I think that that's great. Like, let's give these teens this kind of an opportunity. Let's keep opening doors. It almost reminds me of the show we did for Mayanot a couple years ago.
Right.
When you were sitting in the Beit Midrash in Mayanot in Teaneck, and we're surrounded by all the svarim that you would see in a Beit Midrash that are typically appointed to the guys. And you have, multiple sets of shas, and you have this and you have that. And that Beit Midrash was built for women. And you look around what's going on here, and there's a lot of really hardcore learning that's going on here.
Yep.
And so kudos to NCSY and kudos to the OU for really noticing and giving the girls that opportunity, or stop saying girls, giving these women this opportunity to say, yeah, you want to learn, we're gonna make that happen for you.
And the chaburas is what people are hearing in the background,
Right.
which are happening as we speak. And nice to reunite with a bunch of kids that are from different neighborhoods that we're familiar with, and different camps that we're familiar with, and different pursuits that we're familiar with. I mentioned that because of Esty Ackerman, who we saw,
Yeah.
who, of course, was part of one of our historic shows when she
Very early
was
on in this
defeated by Ellie
network.
Hagler.
Correct.
She was defeated by Ellie Hagler in
Sure.
ping pong, right? Remember that?
That's exactly what happened. And Esty said that there's a table here, and she's been doing a little practicing, but I imagine finding a partner to work with is probably a little
Right.
daunting.
That's for sure.
She wants to have friends at the end of the summer.
Yes, I can
Exactly.
only imagine.
And by the way, we should also mention that Mrs. Yudin, who you'll have on, who will join you in a little bit.
Who heads Michlelet.
Correct. She welcomed David Cutler
Right.
to uproarious applause here in this Beit Midrash this morning. Everyone coming off of the high of last night's Yom NCSY and just the boom that it was. And again, we've talked about how Mordechai Shapiro was so incredible, and I always hear my own voice a little bit raspy this morning because we were competing with the energy there last night, and so I almost hear myself like I feel like I'm post Color War.
Right.
That's what
It wasn't
feel
easy
like.
to speak over the crowd last evening, and I'm sure our listeners understood that and heard that. But it was very exciting. A lot of energy and a lot of very enthusiastic youngsters who
Right.
were appreciative, as you say, of all that the OU and NCSY are doing to make their summer incredible.
And when Mrs. Yudin called David up, I mean, everyone stood up in this Beit Midrash.
Yeah.
He's not a Rav. He's not,
But he's responsible for their great summer.
correct. And it was not only a sign of respect, but he deserved a standing ovation.
No question
And
about
that to me was incredibly poignant.
Friday morning, it's JM in the AM. We're going to continue. Our guests are coming up. Plenty to talk about. A lot of NCSY summer programs. We could spend an entire week on all these programs, but we're dedicating day number 2 of our visit to the NCSY summer programs from their home here in Beit Shemesh at Michlelet. You're listening to JM in the AM.
שבת אחת נריע נקדמה בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה זהו יום שבת שמחה וצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה שיר לשבת בואי כלה שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא עוד צועד אני אל תוך הלילה עליי שומר מלאך שם מלמעלה מלאכי שלום עליכם ותפילות בבתים קידוש נשמעת ברכת חלות המלאך איתי ולא יירא השיר לשבת דרור יקרא שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא
JM in the AM, Friday morning, Erev Shabbos. We are live at Michlelet in Israel. NTSY summer programs is our focus. The great Yoel Sharabi with Shalom Aleichem. Micha Gamerman before that here on a JM in the AM Friday morning. Candlelighting time in the New York area, 7:47 on this Erev Shabbos. A lot of synagogues begin earlier. If you're not sure when your community starts, make sure to find out and be aware of it. We have a program here, part of the NCSY summer programs, that I am probably most intrigued with, and that is TJJ. And I've said this before, one of the things that does intrigue me about TJJ is the commitment that people of all backgrounds, parents especially of all backgrounds across North America, make to their children, to their students, to send them to Israel, many of the parents never having visited Israel themselves and coming from communities that often are not focusing on Israel a great deal, or certainly not our tradition as much as other communities might be. So TJJ has been one of the most amazing and incredible successes of the NCSY summer programs. And with us here this morning, Yoni Coleman, a TJJ field coordinator. Welcome, Yoni.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Rabbi Noam Konigsberg, a TJJ Mashgiach Ruchani. He describes himself only as an assistant rabbi on bus number 9. He is here. Rabbi Konigsberg, welcome to JM in the AM.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yoni, what is it about TJJ that has made it such a success? I believe the numbers now exceed 500 students from North America who spend their summers in Israel. Why has this worked?
I mean, that's a great question. Thanks again for having us here. Great to be here.
Pleasure.
With my holy Rebbe, Noam.
I knew he was much greater than he said he was.
Please, let's keep going.
Certainly humbled. But an assistant rabbi, that's just not true. Look, there's no one single thing. The success is a culmination of many different things. Part of what we take great pride in is our commitment to excellence. So a lot of kids on the program, you could say, oh, we're great recruiters, but that's not it. You know, we could say we're great programmers, but that's not only it. We could say we have great training. We could say we have great staff. It's the culmination of all those things together which lead to the growth of the program.
What is the program? We know what Michlelet essentially does and concentrates on, and certainly NCSY Kollel, I could tell you how they spend the bulk of their day. What is the program at TJJ?
Sure. Well, TJJ is a month-long experiential tour of the land of Israel for public high school teens from around North America. That's U.S. and Canada.
Right.
And typical day on TJJ, we get up, we have a little bit of experiential tefillah. For those that want to have a more formal tefillah, we have that option also. We get on the bus and we tour all the beauty and all the excitement that Eretz Yisrael has to offer.
Does it surprise you the way it surprises me that a representation of so many diverse backgrounds, both geographically and religiously, are in TJJ?
No. I've been involved with TJJ almost 10 years. From back in the days where we had 4 to 5 buses.
Wow.
And now, Baruch Hashem, we're at
13.
We're at 13 if we're including the specialty buses. So, look, I mean, a fun time will always appeal to our teens.
Right. Even if it's far away from home, even if the parents may have an impression of there's security problems, et cetera, it still will appeal to them.
Yeah, I mean, and the appeal is because of our participants. They come back and they share their experience.
Right.
I mean, we have
the best ambassadors, huh?
Absolutely. Even the way that we go into parents' homes and share about our program is unique in that we have our past participants. We don't sell the program. The program
right.
sells itself. But the way we do that is we call up, Mrs. Goldstein. Mrs. Goldstein sent her son, let's say Josh, on the program last year. We call them up and say, hey, would you help us out just to share what TJ is about? We'll come to your house. You'll invite some friends. And then Josh, the past participant, he'll talk about what it was like on TJJ.
Right.
Kind of like this radio show, live and unscripted.
There you go.
That way, the actual essence, the actual reality of the program, how truly loving, experiential, valuable, that comes across. The program sells itself.
Right, understood. So, Rabbi Konigsberg, you said you're bus number 9. Majority from Canada, all from Canada, whatever the case may be.
All of them are from
Where
Canada.
will they be this school year? TJJ alters what they originally thought they'd be doing in the coming school year or not?
So TJJ plants a seed. You almost never see public school kids changing to a yeshiva.
Right, it wouldn't happen immediately.
Immediately after TJJ. But a seed is planted, and that seed grows. And being in TJJ for a number of years, I have actually been zocha this summer to see that seed sprout and bear fruit. Just to give you one example, I had a TJJ 2 summers ago whose name was Molly when I was in the Midwest region. not a connected participant at all. She wasn't exactly the one at the middle of the circle the entire summer. In fact, at the end of the summer, had you asked me how she's doing, I would have said, she spent the month. I didn't necessarily see that spark ignite. We were in touch, social media. It turns out that she went to a gap year in Israel, Bar Ilan experience. And this summer, our bus went to Bar Ilan to their presentation. And I went over to the head of their program and said, I heard Molly was here this year. How is she doing? They said, you mean Malka?
Oh, my gosh.
And she actually changed her plans and now is headed for Stern College.
Imagine that.
And that's just one of several stories. There's a participant now on AP. I don't want to say his name because last summer...
AP means?
AP is Ambassadors Poland. It's one of the specialty buses of TJJ. I don't want to say his name because last summer, midsummer, we had a group kumsitz where everyone shared experiences. And let's just say that the experience he shared at that kumsitz is so inappropriate I can't even share it on radio.
Understood.
My first reaction was, let's get him off the bus. He returns to AP this summer. I run into him in the Rabin Youth Hostel where I am now. I'm talking about a story from 2 days ago. And he said, Rav Noam, it's not a question of do I go to a yeshiva, the question is which one. And the seeds are planted, and with a lot of patience and a lot of tolerance of some of the behaviors and a lot of belief in these kids, the seeds really sprout into something amazing.
Is this all, a surprise to their parents? Parents send them and think that they are simply having a nice 4-week vacation here, or it just depends on the situation?
So in some instances, yes. In fact, I had a kid at the beginning of this summer on day one. His name is Jonathan. I said, Jonathan, what are your goals for this summer? He said, Rabbi, not to become religious. I said, what do you mean? He said, my mother in the airport said, when she parted from me, she said, you're going to Israel, you're not becoming religious. I don't know exactly what to do at this point. He's putting on tefillin every day. He was at a doctor last night because at Yom NCSY in the dancing, he fell and hit his head.
Oh, gosh.
He came back to the youth hostel at 5 a.m. this morning, and he showed up to tefillah at 7:30.
He's committed, huh?
So we're going to have some discussions about
how to handle his parents.
What happens when he goes home.
Rabbi Noam Konigsberg is here. Yoni Coleman is here. Yoni is TJJ field coordinator. Rabbi Konigsberg is the assistant rabbi, as he describes it, at bus number 9 here at TJJ. Is it difficult, for instance, Shabbos? What is TJJ Shabbos like when I would assume that there's quite a vast variety of how one does or does not observe Shabbos? How would you explain that experience collectively to this audience?
I mean, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I would say part of it, and Rav Noam, jump in any time, part of it has to do with, the culture of the bus, where it comes from. We have a diverse audience. Not all kids are like the party kids. Not all kids are like the quiet intellectual. There's spectrum. So I would say Shabbos kind of builds. The first Shabbat in Israel, I would say we're, pretty jet-lagged. And kind of they send you up to Chispin where they have 12 groups in Chadar Achel that fits 10. You don't know what hit you. It builds. The mood builds. So I mean, we have it's almost like a mini Shabbaton, I would say. We have tefillah. We have learning with our mentors, with our advisors. We have a lot of games, a lot of minute to win it type games. Those are our specialty. We try to create an experience which is open and accessible to our teens.
And is Shabbos key for a lot of these students as they look back at their TJJ experience? Or could the Torah study, could the tefillin experience, could all of those be just as important, depending on who the person is, elements in terms of their, getting turned on to Judaism?
NCSY is known for its moments. And moments in our lives, often, they stick with us. But in healthy acquisition of increased Torah observance, it's not moments. It's the space between those moments, the consistency, the respect, the love, which actually has the power to cement positive change in one's life. So I would say Shabbos is critical. Shabbos is amazing. It's not only that one Shabbos. Rav Noam talks about the seeds. Shabbos is like a really powerful, super steroided seed.
I just wonder if it's a much tougher sell now. Because Shabbos, is anti-social media, quote-unquote, anti-being connected on the iPhone. And I wonder if it's just a much more difficult battle than it used to be, and therefore less appealing to these students.
I would say the opposite is true. I find it easier to sell Shabbos today.
Really?
Because these kids sense, deep down inside, that social media is ruining their lives. I think they feel that the break that they get on a Shabbos on TJJ, where they could just be face-to-face with their friends, and at a Shabbos people sing with them and just talk to them face-to-face. We don't do that anymore. I think that they see it as something refreshing and invigorating, and I feel that they have a need. There's a certain gap, there's a vacuum in their lives, I believe, that Shabbos is filling in such a beautiful way that I think the kids find it very refreshing. Kids tell me, we have like in the Chadaroch, in the dining room. So we get up and dance and we sing. And one of the kids came over to me in an NCSY group and said, Rabbi, I've never seen anything like that before. And said, what do you mean? You go to parties. You guys go out and have a good time.
Right.
He said, but Rabbi, there was no alcohol. It was just Shabbos. It was just the joy of being with each other. It was just celebrating our Judaism.
That says it all, huh?
That's all.
The majority of the programs that we've become familiar with over the years with NCSY happen after 10th grade. Is TJJ also for that group, or are they older than 10th graders, or a combination?
Depends where the bus is sourced from.
Where's your bus is what, 10th graders, 11th graders?
We begin with entering 10th.
Oh, so even what I would call 9th grade at this point. Wow.
Correct.
So officially, you have to be in high school.
No, I understand that. I just thought for the TJJ experience, and again with parents who may not be as comfortable sending them 6,000 miles away, I thought they just have to be older. But a lot of them are just starting high school.
We kind of over-communicate to compensate for that. So, I mean, the parents are probably more connected than their teens via social media.
They're getting what, daily emails from you?
Daily
Daily
emails from our directors.
Right.
There's a deluge of pictures and video clips that are sent out through various social media channels, Facebook, Instagram. So, I mean, they follow along quite closely. A kid sneezes, and in the back of the bus, their parents knew about it before the front of the bus knew about it.
Where are you from originally?
Canada. I live in Toronto.
Interesting.
I live in Toronto. I work in New York and Israel.
Was NCSY a big part of your youth, or you only discovered it later on as you became a leader in this community?
It's my wife's fault, actually. We were engaged, and she was an advisor at a Shabbaton.
In what region?
In Canada region. We were at Camp Northland B'nai B'rith for Spring Regional. Well, I wasn't. She was. They didn't have a guitar player, so she
recruited you.
Yeah, she called me up. That was before text, and she was like, "Hey, we need a guitar player." I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'll do anything for my fiance." I drive up there, and I'm like, "What on earth am I getting myself into?" I walked into like the pinnacle Shabbaton, end of year,
regional, I guess, right?
Regional,
national, regional, whichever one it is.
Yeah, big.
Right.
And I didn't. It was fascinating. It was really fascinating. Rav Noam describes the energy of Shabbat that we create. That type of energy was very similar. There was something very inclusive, safe, and open.
Right.
Something which...
And you picked it up right away.
I was hooked, man. I had to explore it further.
Rabbi Koenigsberg, where are you from originally?
I grew up in Detroit, Michigan.
Also with NCSY being...
I started my first NCSY Shabbaton was in 8th grade, junior NCSY. I had various positions throughout high school. I went to Yeshivat Shalvim after high school, and I've been there basically since then. I went back to Yeshiva University for a few years, but I've been there a total of something like 15 to 20 years.
So our Shalvim crew out there has certainly become familiar with you over the years.
Right, for sure. And the voice that emanates from that Beit Midrash is go out and help your people Israel wherever they are.
Right.
And that's why so many of our alumni are in NCSY programs, and it just so empowered me to go out and take on this challenge of working with public school kids.
And you're with TJJ how long?
This is my third summer.
Very nice. And Yoni, how long? TJJ?
First time we ran a bus was in 2008.
Kol hakavod to both of you. Yoni Coleman, Rabbi Noam Konigsberg, TJJ continues to fascinate us, and for good reason. Thank you both very, very much.
Thanks
for having us.
Absolute pleasure. It's America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program, heard on listener-sponsored digital radio around the world on the web at NachumSegal.com, on the Nachum Segal Network, and, of course, on the beloved NSN app. And I am told that the person who I guess is officially hosting us this morning on this Friday JM in the AM, Mrs. Rivka Yudin, is joining us. She is the director of Michlelet. I, as a one-time Michlelet parent, am indebted to her. You remember the Segal representation here?
I remember, Chava.
It went well? Everything was fine?
Thank God.
She spoke very highly of you, I can tell you that much.
Thank you.
How long have you been with Michlelet?
This is my 12th summer.
And
Thank God.
are you here as long as the program exists, or it even existed
No, it
before
existed
that?
for many, many years before.
Interesting. How long is it here?
It's here for 14 summers, I think.
Nice.
And thank God, over the years, though, when I came, we added the chesed and and a little more trips and other stuff and some fun stuff. But it's been around for many, many years, and it's impacted.
Yeah, I know
thousands
a lot of
women.
girls. How'd you get to 132 teens?
We have 132 teens with a waiting list of people who wanted to get on.
So
also,
there were
thank God.
people who could
Baruch
not
Hashem.
get here this summer.
Unfortunately, yes.
So you're bursting at the seams, as
We
we
were
would
bursting
say.
at the seams. We added bunk beds in. It's an amazing summer, thank God. And
With students from everywhere, right? I mean, all over America.
Really girls from all over, and even from Israel and Canada. But yeah, thank God.
What's the secret? That we always wonder about programs that continue to grow. We just spoke about TJJ. I'm fascinated by that
Amazing.
one. Why does this one continue to grow? Why is it, in fact, bursting at the seams?
That's a great question. Michlelet happens to be a balance of a lot of amazing things. I think that one thing that the girls really, really gain from here is a real passion and love for Yiddishkeit. And we have girls from every background, yeshiva backgrounds, non-yeshiva backgrounds, and I feel like girls are missing that in their lives. They come and they become passionate and excited about learning about Yiddishkeit, about Torah, about Eretz Yisrael, and it's all it's all with a ton of fun and touring and really just really, really tons and tons of fun. So I feel like that's a draw for girls. Girls want to grow.
I thought everybody here was day school to yeshiva high
yeah,
school.
so it is
Majority.
mostly that. It is a majority, but we have public school kids also, and even within the day school, it's like we have a range.
Right,
and
that's
there's something
the
very,
point.
very beautiful about that.
Right, pretty amazing.
Yeah, thank God.
We noted earlier that you have a more beautiful Beit Midrash than some of the boys' programs.
Yes,
Now,
we are very, very privileged.
You're aware of that,
lucky.
right?
Yes, we are.
And they don't stop reminding you about that, I'm sure.
We have a great campus everywhere.
To say the
thank
least.
God.
Why is this room so particularly important to your program?
So, firstly, it's a beautiful time. I don't know if when you first came, I don't know if you saw that. It was such a special thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Everyone's here, 132 girls, and there are 33 madrichot, and everyone starts off, 4 girls with their madrichot for 15 minutes just learning together. It happens to be one of my favorite times of the day. You come in and you just hear the sounds of learning. It is so beautiful.
We were here for that. It was very exciting.
It's so special. We have speakers at night. And really, it's like the central place. It's the place where everything really, really comes from. So I like to think, Reshit's high above everything else in Beit Shemesh,
right?
And this building really, really stands up, and this is at the top of it. I like to think the Torah really just emanates from here outwards to
Who do you
Beit
bring in
Shemesh, all of Eretz Yisrael, everywhere.
Who do you bring in as guest speakers?
Everyone. Mrs. Zina Skumaker, Rabbi Friedman. We had Mrs. Rina Ariel, the mother of Halal Yafa, who was Hashem Yikom Dama, who was killed. She was here last week with us. We really have Rabbi Nissel, Shira Smiles, who happens to be one of our teachers. Also, really, really every type of speaker, and they're all really, really phenomenal.
What type of staff, in fact, do you look for?
In terms of madrichot or teachers?
Well, I guess both. But
madrichot, thank God, we're very blessed that we have we can choose. We have a lot of applicants, thank God.
Many of them former Michlelet.
A lot of them former Michlelet and NCSYs, which is great because they come with that passion and excitement. They know how much they gain, so they want to give back.
And they're familiar with your whole operation.
Exactly. We actually really try to get every type of madricha, so personality, hashkafa, everything, so everyone has their person that they can relate to. They're passionate about Yiddishkeit, but they're super cool, super fun, and they have a great time with the girls learning and just doing activities and dancing and going crazy. So it's hard to. There's no one box that they fit into, but it's really, really.
Do you think the girls, the young ladies here earlier were surprised to hear that you're working on Michlelet all year round? Do you think that was a shock to them?
I don't think so.
They do get it, huh?
I think so. They say thank you a lot. They're very sweet. They're great girls.
It's not easy doing this.
It is not easy.
And even though you're blessed by not having a real recruiting process, right, compared to others.
No, we do recruit though, thank God.
You do have to.
Yeah, because meaning a lot of girls really come, but some girls are intimidated. Is it too much learning? Is it going to be like school? Is it going to be fun? When they speak to people, they realize it's totally not like school. It's not attached to tests, and it doesn't have the pressure, and it's completely else, something else, and it's also tons of fun. So not everyone realizes that beforehand, but thank God.
See, you're benefiting from something that we kept pointing out during yesterday's show. And that is that if there is somebody who doesn't fit in here, there are a million other programs where they're going to fit in,
right?
That they could choose from,
right.
and that helps you because you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have no choice but to accept this girl here. We have the right program within the umbrella of NCSY where they'll excel.
Exactly. But I will tell you that some girls come in ready for it and loving learning, and some girls actually come to Michlelet really even, I don't want to say it, but hating learning and not into things. And thank God, with a lot of Siyata Yishmaya, every single summer you watch the process, and even girls who thought they weren't ready for it, like really fly here.
What's been the most exciting Shabbos? Don't say all of them. What's been the most exciting one so far?
So far, I have to say last Shabbos.
Where was
the last Shabbos? It was here.
Oh, right here.
In Reshet.
So no big trip somewhere?
This week, Shabbos Nachamu, we're super excited. We're going to Tzfat. There's nothing like Shabbos Nachamu in Tzfat, especially after the incredible and meaningful Tisha B'Av we had here. We're all really, really crying to be able to go up to Tzfat afterwards, where it's so spiritual. Is really, really incredible. But Shabbos on Michlelet, ask any of the girls, there's nothing like it. The singing is just rocking. It's just... My husband gave an optional shir this past Shabbos. 130 people, just came. 130. I counted the room. They all want to hear the singing. We have a tish with the Rebbe Rebbitzin. It's amazing. You can't describe how much ruach there is here on Shabbos. It's really beautiful. It's really
very
special.
nice. All right, you'll introduce us to some of these teenagers later on, and I thank you again for hosting us today.
No problem. Thank you so much, Nachum.
Rivka Yudin is the director of Michlelet and is in charge of this unique and very interesting program that's been going on. She's doing this for 12 years here in Beit Shemesh. JM in the AM on a Friday morning, Erev Shabbos Nachamu, Erev Shabbos Parshas V'Eschanan, and we are spending our morning with the NCSY summer programs here in Israel. And I want to thank everybody at the OU and NCSY and David Cutler, who directs these summer programs, for all of their cooperation. More coming up. It is a JM in the AM Friday morning, and this comes from Avram Fried at JM in the AM.
Yudati Ki hinni beyotchu levad Ki hinni beyotchu levad Kach hoimer beyad hayotzai Riboynu voylumim yudati Ki inni beyotchu levad Ki inni beyotchu levad Kach hoimer beyad hayotzai Hai vein gammes samais beitsois besach bilois besach bilois Eve chol yoish vaisai val yam dili minile oishi ayni velis moich nafshi Mi baladai ischu v'yezroschu Ein ezro v'yeshiyo יודעתי כי הנני ביותך לבד כי הנני ביותך לבד כך אומר ביד היוצאי נוי ריבוי נוי לא יודעתי כי הנני ביותך לבד כי הנני ביותך לבד כך אומר ביד היוצאי אוי ואם גם מסמייס ביצויס לסח בילויס וסמך בילויס בכל יושבי סייבל יעמדי לימיני לאוי שיעיני ולסמוך נפשי
ישמח מלך
Friday morning on this Erev Shabbos. We're at Michlelet in Israel. We are the guests of the NCSY summer programs. And Leah Moskovich is here, one of the most relaxed people here for obvious reasons because her program has ended already. She's the director of Give West. Am I right that you're completely relaxed because the program has concluded?
I am relaxing and enjoying Israel, yeah.
I can only imagine. All right, we are somewhat familiar with Give. A member of my family enjoyed Give in Israel a couple of summers ago. What is Give West?
Give West is a program that began 5 summers ago. It originally started on the East Coast, and then I joined the team 4 summers ago and moved it to the West Coast. We're a one-bus program with girls from all over the U.S. and Canada, and we do charity projects starting in Phoenix, Arizona, and we road trip all the way up to Portland, Oregon, giving back, hiking, touring, learning Torah, and having the best time.
The Chesed projects, and again, when it comes to Israel, many of us are familiar with the Chesed that can be done in some of the organizations that groups like yours we meet up with. But when it comes to Chesed on the West Coast, we're not nearly as familiar. So who are you arranging these different encounters with out there?
So we work with both Jews and non-Jews. We have a lot of Chesed projects with Jewish organizations like Yachad, the Friendship Circle, and the Jewish nursing homes along the West Coast. But we also work with non-Jewish organizations. A very large one that we work with is the Midnight Mission and other food banks like that. We work food sorting, food packaging, the LA Kitchen, the LA Food Bank, and other organizations along the West Coast servicing all different types. A lot of homeless and a lot of people who are very ill.
What does it mean you're dealing with the homeless? I mean, through an official homeless organization that's there for the benefit of the homeless? How does it work?
Yeah, so for example, the Midnight Mission is one of the largest organizations. It's in Skid Row of Los Angeles, which is, aside from New York, the biggest homeless population. We serve lunch to about 700 people. The girls prepare, they serve, and they clear. They're interacting, they're helping move boxes and literally serving them their lunch. They were given also a tour of the facility. It's a homeless shelter as well as a rehab center for those who are suffering with different addictions. So the girls were exposed, they were educated, and then they got to service the community. It literally opens off the street, and hundreds of people walk through their doors every day.
Are the people, the average person that are being serviced by Give West, aware of the fact that these are representatives of the Jewish community who are doing it for them?
Yes, just by the fact of how we're dressed. We have tons of people that come over to us.
Oh, they actually point it out to you?
Totally. In these organizations in particular, where are you guys from? What affiliation? What's NCSY? We have hats that we wear every day, Give West hats, and the girls wear them. And people come over all the time. What does NCSY stand for? What are you guys? What are you guys doing here? We've had multiple experiences at Chesed and also at a Coffee Bean or Starbucks on the side of the road. Who are you guys? What are you doing? Whoa. And we've had a bunch of times where people have sponsored coffee for the whole group out of appreciation and just acknowledgement of all that we're doing.
Oh, that must be fun.
On the West Coast,
to be recognized like that.
Yeah.
How's the admission process? Is it difficult to get in to Give West?
So recently, yes, we do have a waiting list. There are girls that have applied this year from all over. We had 5 Canadians, 6 Floridians, 3 girls from Houston, Texas. So our last year we had 3 Israelis actually.
We have a Houstonian over here.
That's nice. So girls from every region. The regional directors are really picking up on the power of Give West. It's for a teenage girl who wants something different. It's only first month, so it definitely coincides with other programs, but also gives a teenager the experience that they would never have. Something that I love about Give West is that there is no other program like it. There are other programs traveling in America. There is no other program doing Chesed like we're doing. So when we try to get the word out, that's what we're really saying, that this is an experience of a lifetime. There's no one else doing it. And thank God we had way over 44 applicants this year, so our bus was full.
It sounds pretty amazing. Does this shut them out, these girls, from having the Israel experience? Can they go the following year, or can some go to Israel and then come to you for Give West for that summer?
So both. Last night at Yom NCSY, I had the privilege of dancing with all my Give Westers from last year. We have a bunch on Michlelet, on Give, on Jolt to Israel, on Yabiyad and other programs like that. But we have tons of girls that come here, and a few girls that are in Israel now were asking me about coming on Give West next summer because, it's another opportunity, a different opportunity to give back in a different place.
From Arizona to I guess, Oregon, Washington, is there any tourist attraction you miss, or they see it all?
We have so much that we could do.
They will see the Grand Canyon?
We do the Grand Canyon. We do Yosemite. We do beautiful Sedona water hikes.
Will they view the Golden Gate Bridge at some point?
Of course. We walked the Golden Gate. We went to the Jelly Belly factory. We had all the hot spots. We hiked the Hollywood sign. You know, all the big things, of course. And it's also like a camp experience. You know, we do programming, we do learning every day. We have chabura, we have night activities every night. So every day is really balanced. We do learning and chesed in the morning, fun in the afternoon, and always learning and fun at night. So
I'm just curious, is it evenly divided between what we refer to as the New York, New Jersey area and what we refer to as out of town?
It was exactly 50% this year. We had half of girls that were New York, New Jersey, and half of girls that were out of town.
That must be an interesting interaction, all that.
It's amazing.
All together, meeting kids that they never will have met before.
Never met before, and also different ages. This year we had only 9th and 10th grade, so going into 10th and 11th, and hopefully they'll all continue. It's another program.
Are you planning on continuing next year?
I am, please God. And
Give West with Leah Mashkovich.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure to meet you, and
You too.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds like a great program.
Thank you.
More coming up. This is a Friday morning edition of JM in the AM on this Erev Shabbos Nachamu with candlelighting in the New York area at 7:47. We are the guests of the NCSY summer programs here at Michlelet in Israel. Want to give a shout out to Dr. Stuart Ditchick and everybody at Kids of Courage. Looking forward to spending Shabbat with them near Washington, D.C. They're doing amazing work, and we will see them later on today. There'll be no weekly update this week. Malcolm Hoenlein and I will return with the weekly update 1 week from today, analyzing all the news affecting Israel and the Jewish world. Right here at JM in the AM. Reminder, Mark Zamek's Erev Shabbos show, sponsored by Kedem, starts right after Naomi Nachman's Table for Two. It goes until 1 o'clock. Then, of course, our Kedem presentation of the Erev Shabbos music mix, all happening all day long with us at the Nachum Segal Network. Make sure to stay tuned in. I want to thank the Inbal Hotel. They've again served as our central location, our home base in Israel. They're in Jerusalem. Contact the Inbal Hotel for your next stay in Yerushalayim. More coming up. It's JM in the AM.
הצדיקים שהיו עד היום ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום בזכות כל הצדיקים שהיו עד היום ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום שהיו עד היום ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום בזכות כל הצדיקים שהיו עד היום ובזכות כל הצדיקים שנמצאים עמנו היום השם שלך לא
JM in the AM. Good morning, all. That's Ohad, of course, as we continue with a Friday morning broadcast. Weekly Update returns next week. Malcolm Homeline and I will analyze the events of the week next week, 7:40 a.m. Eastern Time, here at JM in the AM. Elliot Tansman is our guest as we sit here in the beautiful Beit Midrash of Michlelet, a guest we are of the NCSY summer programs. Elliot has the easiest job in NCSY summer. He's director of recruitment, and based on the conversations we've had yesterday and today, it seems you have nothing to do because basically every program looks like it's completely sold out, and it looks like every time a program ends, they're ready to fill up and sell out again the following year. And of course, I say all of this tongue-in-cheek. Welcome to JM in the AM.
Thanks. Good morning, Nachum. How you doing?
Baruch Hashem. So am I right or wrong that recruitment is not as big of an issue when it comes to certain programs in NCSY summer?
You are absolutely correct. Thank God, we've grown from 832, the first summer I was involved. This year now we have about 1448, 1450.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible.
I'm going to pull out my stats as you say all this. Go ahead, yeah.
Your fact check over here.
No, not fact check, just to share with the audience how incredible these numbers are. Look at this. We talk about, you mentioned 1,400 plus, so here we've rounded it up to 1,450 kids, almost a 20% increase from last year. Here we're in Michlelet, where 132 girls enjoy the summer now, and from what we've been told, based on bunk beds and
sleeping bed,
exactly, they're really bursting at the seams over here. So when it comes to and we also saw something during our conversation about TJJ that a lot of the recruitment is done by current students, campers, teens who are here, and then will go back and report to their communities what's going on, and it'll attract parents and teens to get involved in that program. So as hard as your job is, you have a lot of help along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. The infrastructure of NCSY in general, how we operate year-round with the regions and the chapters and the boards, the chapter boards, the regional boards, which consist of teams that are involved during the year. But also the kids come back from an incredible summer. They're on an inspirational high. They're on an emotional high. They're so bought in. All they want to do is they want to replace themselves. They want to live again vicariously through their friends next summer.
And that's what happens. The next generation or the next grade shows up, and they're passing on the word. You mentioned the different chapters and regions in NCSY, and this is something that I'm sure intrigues a lot of people in our audience. At this point, the structure of NCSY has really shaped incredibly. I remember 30 years ago there was a structure, and regions and chapters were, as you just said, operated by boards and done in a really organized fashion. But it seems today it's really done. It's really been tightened to the point that in a good way, not in a bad organizational or structural way, but in a good way that really gives an opportunity to leaders out there to attract students from all over the place in the region.
Absolutely. It's maybe even use the word industrialized.
Right.
It has totally gone from what was a volunteer. I mean, we are still a volunteer-driven organization, don't get me wrong. But, back then regional directors, were volunteer, and chapter directors started off as volunteers. And now it's become, so needed and wanted in communities where you have to have full-time professionals on the ground.
And a lot of people always think that, the more something looks corporate, the worse it is. But in this case, it seems to have worked well, that you are more organized, as you just described, with real professionals at the helm, and it's attracting so many more thousands of kids.
Yeah, we get the opportunity to still do both the formal and the informal. And I think the emphasis on the informal, the conversations, the mentorship that exists year-round with the advisors or during the summer with the madrichim and the madrichot really keeps that volunteer-driven aspect of the organization, at the helm, which really encourages kids to come and be open to growth and to have conversations and to start to discover about their heritage, their Judaism.
Elliot Tansman's here. We're going to discuss one of the expansions that NCSY Summer has undergone in just a second. When a region or a chapter comes up with an amazing type of event, does that get around? Does it all of a sudden become replicated in other regions and chapters around the country?
Absolutely. Part of what I do traveling around the country year-round, I'm based in New York. I'll be out of New York for 6-7 weeks at a time some years, depending on the stretch of the year. And city directors around the country and boards are asking me what's going on around the country. What is the new, fun, exciting activity, whether it's a Saturday night activity or whether it's a new learning initiative that we can employ in our chapter as well. And the word definitely gets out. And the mentorship programs that we have for the full-time professionals. Where a city director in Miami might be the mentor for a city director in Kansas City. Those types of mentorship programs are allowing there to be open channels and an open flow of ideas and collaboration throughout the entire NCSY network.
Have you seen a great Torah learning initiative recently? Is there something that, as you traveled the country, that caught your eye that leaders were doing that might actually spread around very soon?
Absolutely. We have, you guys are familiar with the Rabbi David Lichtenstein headline book. So we had a city director in Potomac, Maryland, in Greater Washington, Yudi Rizel, who's the director of our Build program. He created a teen-focused headline book along with our director of education of National NCSY, Rabbi David Beshefkin. And that type of program, which is contemporary, it's halacha in our days, is something that teens really connect to. And that type of idea has been spread around the country.
Tremendous. I'd love to see that, by the way. I'd love to see that publication. All right, there's been an expansion, and one that is really interesting because now NCSY Summer, which has been in the United States quite clearly and has really dominated Israeli programs quite clearly, is now found in Australia and New Zealand during the summer. Now, we're very familiar with Kanfei, Benos Kanfei, etc. NCSY felt it valuable to bring it under their umbrella. Explain why.
So our tagline at NCSY is inspiring the Jewish future. And there's no bounds to who that is applicable for, whether it's a public school teen or a Beis Yaakov girl or a yeshiva boy. It's everybody from the yeshivish, more right-wing, to the unaffiliated type of teen. And this is a program that is really geared and centered for a type of teen that we necessarily haven't been able to reach out to yet in NCSY Summer. Thank God, as you said, our numbers are growing, but there's still a lot more for us to do. And this is a great, we have a great hold on certain schools, in the, let's say in the tri-state area where, we get a solid chunk of, as an example, DRS of the 10th grade boys. And there are some schools where we're still trying to gain a little bit of traction. And this is a program for us that seemed to be the right partner in order to start building up that name.
Did you visit with them this summer?
So I did spend my first 2.5 weeks of the summer a little bit in Baltimore and LA en route to Australia and New Zealand with Kanfei.
So what can you tell us about Kanfei? What was it like? Because none of us have ever been there. It's a long trip.
It is quite the long trip. You got to travel right for sure.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely incredible. You're getting to see some of the most breathtaking and awe-inspiring creations of God along the way, whether it's the Milford Sound, whether it's some of the incredible skylines that you're going to see in Sydney. The weather is incredible, even though it's winter there. So to go skiing in July, in the snow-capped mountains, and you wake up. It's almost like you're waking up in, like Colorado or Utah every single day. You're just on the mirror type of lakes, and you see the reflections, and to see God there, is once in a lifetime.
And the Kanfei crew has always spoken about the locals, how people in Australia and New Zealand are so respectful and, bring a certain variety of human being to our students who they may not be that familiar with, frankly.
Oh, they're incredibly sweet. They're welcoming. We have there's a home hospitality Shabbos that happens in Melbourne, which is incredible. The rabbi of the shul of the Central Synagogue in Sydney spoke to the entire group how it's one of the most inspirational Shabbosim for them when Kanfei comes and gets to join. And we even spoke to a couple of non-Jewish families in New Zealand who talk about how they love opening up their doors and their homes to a lot of Israelis where maybe they're done with the army. They love having Shabbat Friday night meals, and to her it's so special that she gets to help out the Jewish people, and she felt it was so important for her to share that message with the teens, and that really took them back. That really made them understand that they're part of something large and incredible.
So is it likely that this program will stay with NCSY?
God willing. It's an incredible program. The focus on education is there. The infrastructure is there. So, God willing, it will be a partnership that can last for a few years. If not
Pretty
many.
amazing. And now we could say that NCSY Summer is truly global, right? I mean, now it's truly global.
Absolutely. We're in the different hemispheres. Right. We're in the different time zones. It's absolutely global.
Elliot Tansman, so over 1,400. A year from now, it could be another 100 or two, right?
Oh,
You'd be surprised if not.
I would be surprised if not. I would be fired if not. So
you got your livelihood riding on this.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. Definitely. And
Sorry
if you're offering me a job.
Sorry for calling your job too easy earlier.
So no, we definitely, God willing, we have our 2020 vision,
right,
which is to double all of our numbers, whether that's teens impacted, teens
but
inspired.
everybody we speak to, their buses are sold out. The bunk beds are in Michlelet. Kollel has no space. It seems like, not to make fun, I'm sure you're doing a great job when it comes to recruitment, but it seems like everybody's just, at its peak at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, even Kollel went from, 2 summers ago, they were at,
maybe 100,
160, 100.
Oh, they're around?
Yeah, they're usually around 150, 160.
Right.
Last year, 225. This year, 255. If I have to build a dorm room with myself in order to accommodate the teams that we're going to recruit,
And
so
if you
just
do come
give me
up
a
with
hammer
the
and
space,
nails.
they will take another 50.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
absolutely. We could have broken 300 this year on Kollel. Absolutely.
Pleasure speaking to you.
Pleasure's mine.
Continued success. Elliot Tansman, Director of Recruitment for NCSY Summer. And thank you for the report about Australia. Much appreciated.
Pleasure's mine. Thanks, Malcolm.
More coming up. It is a Friday morning Erev Shabbos here at JM in the AM as we continue. Again, a reminder, in New York, candlelighting at 7:47 on this Erev Shabbos, plus our regular Friday programming, including Naomi Nachman. She'll join us between 9 and 10. 10 o'clock for Mark Zomik's brand new Erev Shabbos show. And that program, that show, which debuted last night, is going to have its Friday morning debut starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That goes until 1 o'clock, and then after that, it's going to be the Erev Shabbos, Kedem presentation of the Erev Shabbos music mix. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, Siegel with Avrami. Sunday morning, Matis with JM Sunday. And Monday, our Tu B'Av special coming up between 6 and 9. Monday mornings, JM in the AM. More coming up from Michlelet with NCSY Summer. You're listening to JM in the AM.
שהחיים כל כך קשים, מה יהיה עוד יום עד שנה? אבל אני מחייך, לא דואג להמשך, כי יש לי אמונה. לפעמים מרגישים שהחיים כל כך קשים, מה יהיה עוד יום עוד שנה? אבל אני מחייך, לא דואג להמשך, כי יש לי אמונה. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוהים, והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, שומע את קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוהים, והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי. תן חיוך בן אדם, יש ניסים כל הזמן, לא לבכות, הכל לטובה. אסור לך להתייאש, רק תמשיך לבקש, תשמור את התקווה. תן חיוך בן אדם, יש ניסים כל הזמן, לא לבכות, הכל לטובה. אסור לך להתייאש, רק תמשיך לבקש, תשמור את התקווה. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוהים, והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, שומע את קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם שומע את קולי, את קולי. אני מוריד בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי.
JM in the AM, Yaakov Shweki on that selection. Friday morning, Erev Shabbos. Weekly update with Malcolm Hoenlein returns next week. We'll analyze the news of the day. We're in Michlelet. We're in Israel. Day 2 of being hosted by the NCSY summer programs. As David Cutler just pointed out a moment ago off the air, a little bit calmer and quieter during this program than during Thursday's show when we were live from the NCSY Yom NCSY celebration, and that's what it was, a big celebration. David Cutler is the director of NCSY summer programs. Welcome back to JM in the AM.
Thank you, Nachum. I don't know if it's morning or nighttime. 12 o'clock, I guess it's the afternoon here.
You feel a little bit more calm than compared to the last time we spoke?
Calm, yes. Tired, yes. But also, Baruch Hashem, it was... the night was great. Mordechai Shapiro rocked the house. It was great.
Yeah, he certainly was a big attraction for everybody and lived up to his reputation. Came through with a great performance. And I said this to you last night, but now I could say it in a much calmer and more understandable fashion. You have the unique privilege of overseeing a program that truly goes across the board, that truly attracts people from very diverse geographic and religious backgrounds, which is really amazing. And I've met some incredible superstars here today. The two people you sent us from TJJ who were able to describe the type of program that's attracting young people from all across North America who may not have experienced a Shabbos in their lives, whose parents may not be that enthusiastic with them going to Israel, certainly aren't used to sending their kids to Israel like other communities may be. Leah Moskovich, Give West. I don't know if you thought that a program that was a takeoff, so to speak, on Give Israel would work in the United States. Seems to be working really, really well, to say the least. We of course are here in Mechlelet, which seems to be bursting at the seams, and would appreciate you figuring out a way to accommodate more students, frankly. Which is
we're trying to expand. They don't want to expand anymore here, but we literally had to add bunk beds into the dorms and expand to be here. But the beauty of NCSY is exactly what you said, our diversity. Last night, you should know, we changed the program last night. Excuse me. We basically cut down. You'll notice there wasn't a keynote speech last night. There were no speakers. The focus last night was the concert. And we wanted the TJJ kids, the public school kids, to dance with our yeshiva kids, and everyone dancing together. And the focus was for everyone at the end of the night at 10 o'clock to get up and dance together and really party together, because we are one Jewish family. And what we did last night is we had Mordechai Shapiro. We pre-arranged what his songs were going to be, and we gave out the songs both to all the programs. So all the programs, the public school kids and the yeshiva kids, all knew which songs we were going to sing, and that's why everyone was together and they knew what was coming. And it was great just to see all the yellow shirts from the TJJ kids and all the other shirts from all the other yeshiva programs all dance. That was the whole point of last night, is everyone up and dancing together, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I said last night that because of all these NCSY summer programs that you're adding, soon you're going to be running out of colors.
That's true, by the way. It's not a joke, but that's not my problem.
You let somebody else worry about that.
Yeah, that's what the design guys have to do.
Also, one thing we continue to learn is so many of these programs, maybe all of them at this point, have a waiting list. There is a demand for every one of these, and it's pretty remarkable that you're enjoying such success.
So one of the things we're really working on, we're actually working right now. We are full blast. As I sent you last night, you saw I sent an email after the program reserved the date for next year for Yom NCSY. We're in full blast for summer 2018. Our tickets are ordered. Our dates are fairly, unless Allah comes to us with some problems, but our dates are ordered. Our flights are pretty much booked. So we're completely in 2018 mode, and we're figuring out ways to expand the walls of Yerushalayim to really be able to expand our programs. Our TJJ buses are going to grow by at least anywhere from 1 to 3 more buses next year. We're adding those 4 new programs to work. We're working with Ichud Hatzalah next year. We're very excited to run a program for anybody who's interested in becoming a paramedic or an EMT or being going into medicine to get a first. And you'll get a certificate here in Israel that is certified by the American Medical Association to be a first responder. A surfing program we're going to have next year, and then a program we're adding to our girls repertoire program of having a girls program going to Europe and Israel. So the idea is, in case we can't, again, our Kollel program, they are stuffed beyond belief there in Beit Meir. We literally added 4 new classrooms, a complete new Chadar Ochel there we built, and so we're fully working for next summer to see how we can expand and get everybody in our doors, because it's critical. We're talking about changing the lives of kids and their families.
Of course.
And their families.
Hatzalah surfing. You mentioned the girls, Europe and Israel. Was there a 4th that I'm missing?
Yeah, there was a 4th. So we have the 4G, you have the Hatzalah, and then we have the our Impact program. We have a Chesed program that we're basically starting for public school kids. We have a Chesed program for girls, like the Give Israel and Give West, and now we're going to do the same thing for public school kids. It's going to be a social entrepreneurship, social action program here in Israel that basically spends 4 weeks, again, going around Israel and performing acts of chesed here.
Last night we met, and help me, I forget his name at the moment, the head of the intern program.
Adam Simon.
Adam Simon. Made quite an impression on this audience.
It's been fantastic.
I don't know how you find these people, men and women.
He worked for NCSY in San Diego, made Aliyah, and we actually
developed a unique program for you.
Yeah, so we thought of the idea, and then he completely. That's the beauty. The beauty of our program is that our directors have a lot of autonomy, and they it's a lot of this. Like you met Leah Moskovich.
Right.
Give West has become her program. Her stamp, her personal stamp, is on that Give West.
And
It's
it's
based on their
full,
personality, full and overfull. We were right. We had to turn down 10 kids on that program this summer. A program of 44 girls, and so these programs also, the new programs will take on the identities of their directors. Adam Simon has done an incredible job. Hadassah Hospital, the WZO, all the different organizations we're working with in internships this year. It's going fantastically well.
It's America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program, heard on listeners-sponsored digital radio around the world on the web at NachumSegal.com, on the Nachum Segal Network, and of course on the beloved NSN app. David Cutler is here, director of NCSY Summer Programs. We thought that Aryeh Frankel would join us. He's not able to. And I mentioned that because you just mentioned a moment ago that you have your tickets booked for next summer. Could you give us, and he would have done this, of course, could you give us just a taste of what it's like having buses go up and down and across this country constantly, logistically, and, of course, just finding space, campuses. Like, for instance, the new intern program, I said I knew a couple of people who were serving as his staff members. I said, "Where are you? Where hasn't every area of Israel, certainly in Yerushalayim, been taken at this point? To be utilized during the summer. You must spend part of the year just looking for locations like that."
So we do that. Like you said, Masai Yehudi really is they're not just a tour provider or like a vendor that we use. They're our partners, and they're always on the hunt for new locations for us. We book our hotels are booked a year and a half in advance. In Yerushalayim here, all the hotels, the Jerusalem Gate Hotel, the Bayavagan Youth Hostel, the King's Hotel.
They know already when
they know. We literally book a hotel 18 months in advance. We're not even for the TJJ program because in this coming Shabbos Nachamu, we're all 13 TJJ buses are here in Yerushalayim.
It's over 500.
Again, so they're spread out. Yeah, 500 plus the guests, plus the people that are in from the regions for the Shabbos. We're going to have this Friday night at Eish Torah. I guess people won't necessarily get this on time for that, but we're going to have 5 buses of TJJ eating together a meal Friday night in the Eish Torah Center with Rabbi Berg. And then 2 more programs joining them, the Joel program and the Ambassadors program, joining them for a Tish. There are going to be 7 programs in a Tish in the Old City on the Friday night in Yerushalayim. It's not normal. So we are, like I said, we're in full mode already for next summer, and even the summer after that, to really book our hotels. And we're always coming up. Baruch Hashem, we're a kashrus organization, so the OU is working with us to find new locations and to make sure that even a place that might not necessarily be Mahadran, we are working with that location to bring in the proper hashgacha and the proper products so we can stay at different locations. And that's why working for a kashrus organization is very cool.
And then, of course, you're able to provide for everybody. Those who have different standards for kashrus.
Yeah, we're all. That's why the OU makes everything up to the Mahadran standards, and we're always looking for new places to work with. And that's the challenge in Yerushalayim next summer to have 16, 17 buses in Yerushalayim for Shabbos Nachamu next year. That'll be great.
Unbelievable. You get this unique perspective. We've touched on this before, but people don't realize that most directors of programs don't have this benefit of watching people of all religious backgrounds working together and growing together and experiencing all of this together. And whether it's TJJ and other programs that may attract yeshiva students, etc., it is really remarkable how these summer programs reflect what NCSY is doing. NCSY in the United States has somehow, and I don't know how they've done this, has somehow been able to incorporate being a Kiruv organization while at the same time being a youth group for regular Orthodox kids. I don't know how they've done that.
That's what makes us so unique, because we are really, depending on what community we're in every community, right? So we're putting people in that community that can relate both to the public school kids and to the yeshiva population. And there's been a debate for many years, which population should we focus on? And the answer is yes. We really.
I don't know how they've done it.
We can't focus on only one without the other. And the beauty of what we do is that we really, tonight, for example, tonight's Thursday night, God willing, in the Mishmar and the Kollel program, NCSY Kollel, there are 3 TJJ buses of boys coming in for the Mishmar program tonight to the Kollel program.
So they'll be learning all together.
They'll be learning together, having a
and a lot of these boys from TJJ
come from
They've never been to a
from
learning
almost
program.
zero background, but they're coming tonight, and it's a beautiful, the collaboration, the camaraderie, and they literally sing them out of the base medrash when they're done. 6 more days, well, one more day till Shabbos. I mean, it's it's an amazing thing, and to see there'll be a CM made tonight, God willing, at 11:30 in the base medrash, and to see them. We want to expand our walls to really on that campus because so many TJJ buses come in and with the Kollel. The Kollel is the center,
right?
And to work together. Oh, the Kollel's here.
Imagine that.
Good timing. For them to host the TJJ boys in their base medrash is incredible.
David Cutler, he directs NCSY summer programs. Really remarkable work. Thank you again for your hospitality.
Thank you. Really, it's an honor to have you
Continue to
here.
shep nachas. A lot of nachas last night at NCSY's Yom NCSY. And a lot of nachas. Will you be there tonight, by the way? Will you be at Aish tonight?
I will. Which part of Aish?
Well,
you're there
tonight,
for the banquet.
tonight meeting for the Friday night.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll be
100%.
there.
I will be there tonight. Yeah,
so
God
you'll
willing.
see
It's
it.
going to be
And
incredible.
plus, you'll be at to see him in Kollel on
Yeah,
Thursday night.
it's an incredible thing. It's this is why I'm here. Obviously, a free trip to Israel is fantastic, but you have to enjoy the fruits of your labor. We work all year for this to happen, and this 6-week period to see everybody together and the collaboration and the camaraderie and the learning. Everyone is sitting in a beautiful base medrash, whether you're in Beit Meir or Beit Shemesh or wherever you are in the country. There's nothing like it. It's the most fulfilling experience you can imagine.
Kol hakavod, David. Thank you. And by the way, a big thank you to Amy Moskoff, who again has proven she knows how to produce radio shows.
She's awesome. And that's, by the way, the secret. People ask me, what's the most
We're
important
praising
thing?
Amy. She's not even here. I don't know what happened
she
to
walked
her.
out. People ask me.
She's working.
The one thing that I've learned over the past 12 and a half years here in the OU NCSY is you're only as successful as your staff. And when we have the most incredible summer program directors and their staffs and the people in the national office, National NCSY, they work like nothing else. There's no such thing as a clock. We're sending emails at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning all year round, not just over the summer. And the people, that's what makes us successful. The people behind the scenes, the people who run the programs, whether you're having the deep, meaningful conversation with the kids or you're designing the websites or answering the parents' emails, we have the most incredible staff who work for us, and that's what makes us successful.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
Continued
sir.
success.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
It's been
David
great.
Cutler, everybody, director of NCSY summer programs. Can't get enough of this stuff. Pretty amazing. More coming up. It's a JM in the AM Friday, Erev Shabbos at JM in the AM.
Shalom, ateres malom, gam b'simcha u'v'tzahara, b'simcha u'v'tzahara, b'oi b'shalom, ateres malom.
JM in the AM. That comes from Shabbos with the Wordegers. And we are set for Rabbi Yunin. Again, a reminder that our weekly update with Malcolm Homeline returns 1 week from now, 7:40 Eastern Time, Friday morning next week here at JM in the AM. We are at Michlelet in Israel on an Erev Shabbos Nachamu, Erev Shabbos Parshas V'Eschanan with candlelighting in New York at 7:47. By the way, I wanted to take this opportunity and wish a mazel tov to Mr. and Mrs. Elliot Kaplan on the Lower East Side, and to the Kaplan and Siegel families. The big wedding, Tziona and Avram Eliezer got married last night, and we in Brooklyn, New York, and we say Mazal Tov from all of us here at JM in the AM. And I also want to remind everybody in Queens that Rabbi Rakefet is coming to the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills later today at 6:30 tonight before Mincha in the main shul. He'll speak on positive developments in the Torah scene in Israel. Shalosh Shudas after Mincha at 7:40 tomorrow. He'll speak on Moscow Revisited, a miracle in our times. Rabbi Rakefet spending Shabbos Nachamu at the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills. Information, contact the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills. This time each and every Friday morning, every Erev Shabbos, with great pleasure we present Rabbi Benjamin Yudin, spiritual leader of Congregation Shomrei Torah in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, to address the entire listening audience concerning the Torah portion of the week. Good morning, Rabbi Yudin. JM in the AM on a Friday morning, Erev Shabbos. Thanks very much to Rabbi Yudin for his words about Erev Shabbos Nachamu, Erev Shabbos Parshas V'Eschanon. In a much calmer atmosphere than the last time we spoke with him, Rabbi Moshe Benovitz, the director of NCSY Kollel, is here, and he'll be introducing us to some of the Kollel participants coming up here at JM in the AM. Rabbi Benovitz, welcome back to JM in the AM.
Great to be back.
Oh, I knew we had to do something. We had to turn on Rabbi Benovitz's microphone.
It's great to be back.
I appreciate that.
It is a much calmer atmosphere.
You could say that again. Your impressions of last night's Yom NCSY.
Oh, we're still on a high. It was absolutely unbelievable.
Have they awoken yet, the students?
Oh, they have. 8 o'clock chakras this morning.
They were there,
full morning Seder. Now, that's really one of the great things about it. These types of events, whether it's our Tulim or the sports, they kind of feed off each other. They don't drain them and then make it impossible to do the learning. It's exactly the opposite. It gives everybody the strength kind of to move forward. The energy level this morning in the base medrash with the learning matched what we saw last night at the concert at Yom NCSY.
By the way,
really
did you notice how nice the girls' base medrash is here at Michlal?
That's beautiful.
They're very nice, right?
Very, very nice.
And by the way, I should be careful what I say because you actually have a beautiful base medrash as well. So
thank God.
But I can understand this being the envy of certain yeshivas in Israel. So we got David Cutler's impression of the event that's happening tonight, and again, just so our listeners are clear, even though they've just heard Rabbi Yudin address Erev Shabbos Nachamu, we are discussing all of this Thursday here at JM in the AM. Is that good? Ooh, sorry about that. Tonight, what again for us is Thursday night, you have a unique event in the base medrash at NCSY Kollel. The TJJ students, and we had a wonderful analysis and discussion about TJJ with two fabulous leaders a few minutes ago. And NCSY Kollel will be together in the base medrash. What are your impressions? And you've seen this before, I'm sure.
Sure.
What are your impressions of what's going to happen tonight at Kollel?
We've actually had the opportunity even earlier this summer to do it a couple of times. Every summer we host as many of the other NCSY groups, and particularly the incredible group that comes from TJJ to our base medrash. The way in which they're integrated, they provide energy and lift. They're not just there to receive what we're giving in some type of imbalance.
Well, many of them, I assume, have never studied Torah
before. This will be a lot of their first experience in a base medrash like this. All of their peers, though, they're walking into a place where they feel so at home, so connected and welcome. In fact, one of the three boys that you're going to meet with in a minute, one of our very proud Kollel members of the summer, is an alumnus of TJJ, so you can have an interesting conversation with him about that. You'll meet him very, very quickly. But tonight we have three whole groups that are coming to be in the base medrash. The Thursday night Mishmar program, which I know you yourself have witnessed in the past in a variety of capacities and times.
That's an effective program.
It's amazing what goes on there. There's food and there's excitement and there's just this unbelievable energy in that base medrash on a Thursday night. It's like nothing else. So it'll be over 400 people that are learning there, including these three groups from TJJ, who are treated like the kings that they are. They just walk in and they are welcomed. We'll probably sing a little bit with them. We'll dance a little bit with them. We'll eat a little bit with them, and we'll do a whole lot of learning too.
Where will Kollel be for Shabbos?
We are in for Shabbos Nachamu. There's nothing like Shabbos Nachamu on the NCSY Kollel. It's a highlight of every summer, and we tried it. We're always together, Shabbos Nachamu. Sometimes that's our Shabbos, which we spend off campus. But most years, and this year included, will be in Beit Meir. It'll be extraordinary.
And what will turn out to be the most interesting off-campus Shabbat of the summer?
Well, we have one. We were in the Old City for Shabbos, and it was actually on the heels of some of the disruptions that were taking place in the Old City. The Old City was closed until about noon that Friday a couple of weeks ago, which I'm sure your audience remembers well, everything that was going on there. We were one of the first groups to be back in there. We were safe and secure. It was actually one of the more serene Shabbosim that I remember in the Old City in a long time because there was a lack of other tourists there. Davening at the Kotel that Friday night was such a powerful statement. And listen, it's always an amazing experience to daven at the Kotel, but you can imagine that Friday with everything else that was going on around, to sing Kabbalah Shabbos and to dance at that Kotel that Friday night was like nothing else. It was an incredible Shabbos.
If I ask the teams that you've brought along for their impressions of the best moment of Kollel this summer, will they have an answer for that?
I hope so.
There have been some highlights?
They'll probably be hard for them to choose from.
Oh, really?
But I think they'll come up with something good.
Let's start with someone who's local for our community. Where is David Mandel? David Mandel, welcome. Oh, I had a feeling. So you're Bernice's grandson.
Yep.
That's great. A big hello to Aryeh and Batya. Those are your parents. And Mora Bernice, as I pointed out. And Benji. I got to be careful, right? That's your grandfather.
Yep.
Got to say hi to him as well. So you're in Passaic, New Jersey, and you decided to come to Kollel this summer. How's
That's
it going
right.
so far?
It's awesome. Having a great time.
What are some of the highlights so far? Anything you could point out that's been really spectacular?
Really everything about it. It's really awesome. The leagues, the Shabbosim there, everything is really great. The trips and.
So even when your madrichim are trying to pull you out of bed to go to Shacharis, or, well, I don't know, in your case, maybe you're there before they are. I have no idea. But there are some boys, right, Rabbi Benetz, who need a little bit of encouragement to get to the minyan on time?
Sure, they're normal teenagers.
So even when that happens, or even if it's been a late night and you guys are traveling back from somewhere, all these moments are wonderful moments.
They're all great.
That's
All of
fantastic.
it.
Baruch Hashem. Did someone suggest to you to go to Kollel? How did you even discover that this program exists?
Rabbi Benovitz does a great job recruiting. So when he came to school and I found out about it, and I just decided from that
So if
day.
Rabbi Benovitz would not have walked into your school, you would probably not be here.
I'd probably find out about it anyways from the name, but that probably brought me all the way.
Oh, that's very cool. All right, David Mandel, Passaic, New Jersey. You better send regards to your whole family from us.
All right.
Is this common that you'll be in a school, Rabbi Benovitz, and see boys' eyes light up when you describe the program there?
Listen, we got a great product. We know that, and to be able to walk around the country, fly around the country, and speak about all our programs is a big thrill for me. You're talking about things that you know are great, you know are going to make a difference, and you know that there's going to be a payoff when it comes to the summer, and there's no greater feeling than that.
I have to point out, right, Benovitz, in the role as managing director, has to make sure to give equal time to all the programs.
Sure.
So you're right that you're.
But they're easy sells. They're easy sells, each and every one of them.
I got you. All right, let's move on to Jonathan Maylove. Jonathan is from Miami, I am told, and you, Rabbi Benovitz, indicated that he's a TJJ alum. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you
So,
for having me.
was TJJ last summer or the summer before that? It was
Yeah, last
summer.
Last summer I was on TJJ.
All right, could you do me a favor? And I don't know how articulate you are. I hope that you're ready to speak about this. Could you describe your first week in TJJ for me? Was it completely unfamiliar to you? Was it stuff that you were already familiar with? What was the like at the very beginning of the program?
So, first of all, TJJ is an undescribable program. You can't really put it into words. It really limits what the program was. But I wasn't like the majority of the kids on TJJ. I did grow up with a strong Jewish education for the most part. And what TJJ did for me, I don't know about for other kids, is that it really just brought me back. I kind of stepped off a little, but TJJ for me, it brought me back, and it really showed me like who my people are, like what I am, who I am, and what I'm connected to.
So back to my question about the first few days, you got right into it at that point or not?
I think that it's a process, and what they're best at, like what you just asked Rabbi Benovitz, do you
Right.
pull kids out of bed for Shacharis? It's not like that, you know. TJJ, what they're best at, and what NCSY is good at in general, is that they don't like to push you, because they know if they push you, that you might be turned off from it, and so they're very good at just letting you find your way. So I wouldn't say it was like in the first few days I was just already in, but it's a process. It's really a process. That's what's beautiful about NCSY in general, that it's not just a summer program. It's not just a few days. It's like all year round, and they're really there for you to grow in general.
Oh, you're going to make the Miami contingent of lay leaders who are here very happy with your statements about
Thank
Miami
you.
and NCSY down there.
I
They're
appreciate
very proud about what's going on down in
Yeah,
Florida
definitely.
with NCSY, and I'm sure Benevit sees some great fruits of their products and labor down there. Jonathan Malo from Miami, TJJ alum. So at the end of the summer last year, was it already in your head that you're going to go to Kollel this summer?
It wasn't in my head that I was coming to Kollel, that's for sure. But
What were you
I already
thinking
knew
at the
that
end of the summer?
I already knew what I wanted to do by the end of the summer. But Kollel got to me because I love NCSY and I was looking through the programs, and it was just most appealing to me. So I didn't really have my mind on Kollel until about November.
But you knew you'd be in some NCSY program.
But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I did.
Wow, very cool. You do any recruiting for TJJ? Has anybody asked you
Big
about
time,
it?
big time.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So any Floridians who are at TJJ, they probably have to credit you, huh?
I hope so.
Very nice. Well, a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Continue your amazing journey. It sounds like you're doing really nicely.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Avery Amster is with us. Avery is from Chicago, Illinois. A North Sider, I assume.
Yeah.
So you're a big Cubs fan.
I'm a big Cubs
Congratulations,
fan.
sir.
Thank you.
We feel the need to always point that out, right? Benefits, you've met others, I'm sure, from the Windy City who
I
take
certainly
great
have.
pride in their team. Am I right? So they're doing well, thank God, and I hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
When did you first find out about NCSY Kollel?
A lot of recruiting goes on in the school. My school pushes it a lot.
Which is your school?
Skokie Yeshiva.
Nice. Are they
Boston
pushing?
Yeshiva High School.
They're pushing NCSY Kollel.
Yeah.
That's great.
A lot of people from NCSY in Chicago come to the school 2 or 3 times throughout the year, and they push the program. So that kind of put it in my head. And then my parents wanted me to go. I wanted to go. A lot of my friends were doing it. So everything kind of clicked, and I decided, and it was the right program for me.
Very nice. Are there a lot of Illinois boys in NCSY Kollel?
There's 6 of us who came.
Very nice. Good contingent.
Yeah.
To say the least. All right, I asked if anybody would be prepared to share a little bit of Torah with us, because as Rabbi Benevitz always points out, the basketball is great at NCSY Kollel, and the kumsitzes are fantastic, and the music and the food and everything is wonderful, but there's also a little bit of Torah being studied, am I right?
Every once in a while.
Yeah, here and there.
Every once in a while. And I asked Rabbi Benevitz last night, I'd like your impression. Do you get a kick out of the fact that so many prominent Rosh Yeshiva come and enjoy your company?
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to see. You see a lot of amazing Rabbanim who come, and the amount of Torah that they know is, it's not, you can't even think about the amount of Torah that they know, but just watching them, it's just like a whole different world.
They're good at it,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
All right, Avery Amster is going to share something with us. Go right ahead, Avery.
So this week's parsha is Parshas Va'eschanan. There's a lot of things to talk about in this parsha, like Saras Dibros, Irei Miklat. So I think one of the most famous parts that I think everyone can connect to is you say Shema. The first paragraph of Shema is in this week's parsha. So we say it paragraph 3 times a day. So there's 3 parts to Shema. The first part is Emunah. We say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That we believe there's one God. And we believe, and so it's not, I think when we say that, it's not only we say that there's a God I believe in, but I think we say that He exists, and that He cares about us individually as people, and He's there, and He'll do whatever we need, and whatever what He knows what's good for us. The second part is that we serve Hashem. We know that we're supposed to love Hashem, and we're supposed to serve Him with everything that we have. And I think just serving Hashem is a big part in the first paragraph of Shema. And the third thing is there's 2 mitzvos here. There's the mezuzah and the tefillin. So there's similar ideas, but on 2 totally different levels. Mezuzah is to create a kedusha in a home, into a house. So there's halacha that in a shul you don't put mezuzah. Nowadays we do put mezuzah because shuls are used for other things now. But there's a halacha that you don't put a mezuzah in a shul. So we say why? Because there's already kedusha there. So the reason we put a mezuzah in our house is to show us, to remind us of where we're from, and that everywhere we go there is kedusha and there's Hashem. So I think it all goes back to the first part of Emunah. And the second thing is the tefillin. So we say the same thing the mezuzah does for our house, tefillin does for our bodies. So we say ukshartem leos. That tefillin are an oath because there's a sign between us and God. The only other 2 mitzvahs that are called an oath are Shabbos and Bris Milah. So the mitzvahs tefillin is a daily reminder of everyone's personal connection to Hashem and the responsibility that comes with that relationship. So the whole thing. The entire paragraph of Shema is about the personal connection to Hashem. It's that I have faith in God and He cares about me. Say Shema Yisrael, and I have a responsibility to serve God with whatever I have. And we say with your heart and soul possessions, and then we say you have a job to create kedusha in my house, and I have a job to keep my own connection with Hashem. So I think what this entire paragraph of Shema is telling us to remind us where we're from, and that even though it might not, sometimes you get into a hard situation, it might not, and you might look to Hashem and say like, what's happening? Why is this happening? That everything is going to turn out the best, and that He's always there.
Avery, that was phenomenal, right, Benovitz? You agree with me?
Weekly spot. I think you have a good candidate. Torah from Skokie.
Avery Amster, the pride of Chicago, Illinois, coming through with a beautiful vart. I loved it. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing it with us. That's great. Now you know why I blame Rabbi Benovitz for all the young people from NCSY Kola who end up going back Shana Bet to Israel. Because they've picked up all of this after 10th grade, and all of a sudden they fall in love with Torah.
That's the goal. That's what we're trying to do for sure.
That's the goal, huh, Rabbi?
You bet.
So now
You
I
bet.
know. Now I know. And those students are spending extra years in Israel.
Well, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, they should be in love with Torah and running towards it, being excited as these guys are and excited as our whole group is.
Amen. I'm just kidding around, but you have a lot to be thankful for and you have a lot to be proud of. I want to thank David and Jonathan and Avery. Thank you very much. It was worth the trip from Beit Meir for these guys, huh?
It sure
to say the
was.
least. What an impression you've made. Thank you very, very much. All right, Benovitz, continue your amazing work. You're incredible.
Thank you so much.
Big admirers, to say the least. More coming up. Friday morning broadcast here at JM in the AM as we continue. I thank all of you for tuning in. Here's a little something from Ari Goldwag.
Melech Malachayah, Oivad Gevurtech, Vesimhayah, Shefar Kadomoch, Leachayah, Oikari Goin Olam, Oivi Omaya, Oyam Tumah. Oy Melech Shochi Nasatev Zafro V'Ramsho L'Cheloko Kadisho Divro Kol Nafsho Yirin Kadisho Ufnei Enosho Chivas V'Ramo Yoife Shemaya Oikari Goin Olam Oivi Omaya Oyantu Malko Oy Melech
JM in the AM Friday morning broadcast. That is Ari Goldwag. And now we get an opportunity, just like we had an opportunity to speak with some of the young men from Kollel, we now have an opportunity to speak again to Mrs. Yudin and some of the young ladies from Michlelet, who are hosting us here today. They will be our final guests for this morning's JM in the AM. First of all, Mrs. Yudin, you could use this. There you go, Mrs. Yudin. That's for you. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, and thank you for hosting us here today. We've had an amazing time, frankly. Recommending to everybody that they should visit Beit Shemesh at some point.
Yep.
See this
It's a great
remarkable
place,
facility. Thank God, good air conditioning. All right, so we have 3 students who are here this year. May I introduce them?
Sure, great.
Where's Yael Shainman?
Hi.
Yael, how are you?
Good, how are
From
you?
Woodmere, New York. How'd you find out about Mecholet?
I had siblings who were part of NCSY Summer for many years. My brothers worked and went on call as campers, and my now sister-in-law has been on Mecholet for the past 8 years.
That's pretty cool. What's been the highlight so far this summer?
I would say, there's a lot, but probably the chaburas and the bridal shower that we made for the chassid wedding.
How does that work?
So basically the Shana Bet girls all go out and we buy presents to give to the Kala, and it's really cool. We went to a gemach, and they have all these things, like anything you could think of, and then we come back, we wrap them, and then us and TJJ ambassadors put together a bridal shower, and then we give her all the gifts, and it's incredible because you see how these little things that we probably take for granted are so special to her, and she was in awe to see all the things that we got her.
So we have Torah and trips, Mrs. Yudin, but we also have Chesed.
Yes, we do.
As a component
and we're
here.
making the wedding for this poor couple this coming Tuesday night, God willing.
And that's
For
going to be
Rosh
a
Hashanah.
Mecholet activity?
In our dining room, in our hall.
So all the girls will
and the
participate.
girls work really hard on it, schlepping the tables, waitressing.
Will we
dancing.
be able to see any of those photos online at some point?
Yes, absolutely. Mecholet.ncSY.org.
All right, that's something we should all look forward to. Thank you, Yael. Say hello to everybody in Woodmere. Where's the Hava Davidowitz of Teaneck, New Jersey? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Is there a Jewish community in Teaneck?
There's a huge Jewish community in Teaneck.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. How did you find out about Mecholet, or does everybody in Teaneck know about
How did I not find out about
Mecholet?
Right. I just heard so many positive things about Mecholet. A student came to my school to speak about it, and I have a lot of older friends. I'm the oldest, so I don't have any older siblings,
Right.
but you can bet my siblings are going to be on Mecholet after I come back.
I can only imagine. Is there a highlight or two you could share with us from this summer?
So if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Siach Sod, which is like a home for, not a home, like an organization that helps kids with special needs. And it was just such incredible chesed just to see the simcha on their faces at the end when we had this insane dance party, just so much simcha on everybody's faces, singing Lashana Haba B'Yerushalayim, such achdus. I've never felt such achdus in my life before.
Wow.
Siach Sod.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was
and the daily activities here in a very full Mecholet program, are they going?
I don't have a second to say it. I'm always so busy here in the best way. From chaburas to activities, all sorts. There's baking, there's jump rope, there's swimming, there's everything you could.
What
ever
goes
want
on
to
at
do.
night here in Mecholet?
Oh, at night it's jam packed. So we have a night speaker, which is always incredible. I always look forward to that. It was something that I was nervous about. I was a speaker every night, but
You'll fall asleep during the speech.
no, not at all. I don't want it to end. And then there's always night activity, which is some insane activity, which is planned by the staff here. It's incredible.
Very cool. Very nice. Zahava Davidowitz, thank you.
No problem.
And we're going to meet Atara Simon of Chicago, Illinois, yet another Illinois representative here
Yep.
today. How are things out there in Chicago?
Great.
And how did you find out about Mecholet?
Well, everyone really knows about it. I had an older sister that went, but also a lot of girls from my school went, and everyone loves it. Talk about it all day, in school. All the Mecholet girls are known to talk about it all the time, and everyone try to convince the whole school to tell everyone how amazing it is. And then we're all me and all my friends are we have to go. We can't just hear about this all year.
We got to see if it's real,
exactly,
right?
for sure.
And you came here and you found out that it's real.
Exactly, it's amazing.
What are some of the highlights of the 2017 summer for you?
I really loved everything that we did. I would say one of my favorites was we made a carnival for the kids of Sderot, which was these kids come in and they seem like they're happy little kids, but you can see that they come from a place that's dangerous, and they're not. They have to run for to bomb shelters and all that. But they come and you just see everyone dancing with them and making these kids so happy, and you just feel so good about yourself after, because you're these kids are coming from not such a safe place, and their homes are probably we don't know what they're from, but they're having such an amazing time, everyone dancing with them together and having fun with all these kids, and it's just the best feeling to make them happy.
carnivals, bridal showers, weddings. Essentially, Mrs. Yudin is raising party planners here at Michlelet. That's what it sounds like to me, Mrs. Yudin.
Thank God. You know what?
All in the name of Chesed, right?
It's all in the name of Chesed. We have a lot of like hardcore dancing and ruach here, so we're able to spill it over to our Michlelet events, to Shabbos is incredible, to the Chesed that we do. There's a lot of real excitement that we're able to.
Baruch Hashem. Continued success. Thank you for your hospitality. And to Yael and Atara and Zahava, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Great students, great teens we met today, to say the least. More coming up as we start to wrap up a Friday morning Erev Shabbos at JM in the AM.
The sun is going down, it's shining through the trees. Another week's gone by, become a memory. So throw away your hammer, there's nothing left to do. Go on home and find the gift that's waiting there for you. Oh, it's time to say good Shabbos, 'cause all your work is done. I'm gonna spend a day together with the Holy One. Say a special blessing on a cup that's filled with wine. Man and his creator, it's a very special sign. Your candles will be burning, they'll fill your home with light, singing songs of Shabbos well into the night. So throw away your hammer, there's nothing left to do. Go on home and find the gift that's waiting there for you. Oh, say good Shabbos, 'cause all your work is done. Gonna spend the day together with the Holy One. Say a special blessing on a cup that's filled with wine. Man and his creator is a very special sign. Study and you'll pray. Why not wait till after Shabbos? Oh, those nails won't run away. So throw away your hammer, there's nothing left to do. Go on home and find the gift that's waiting there for you. Oh, it's time to say Shabbos, 'cause all your work is done. Gonna spend the day together with the Holy One. Say a special blessing on a cup that's filled with wine. Man and his creator, it's a very, 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 very special sign.
Achenu b'Yisrael and Achim Achem, our brothers and sisters in Israel, we are with you. It's your favorite America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program. Heard on listeners-sponsored digital radio around the world on the web at NachumSegal.com, on the Nachum Segal Network, and of course on the beloved NSN app. And that wraps up a great broadcast for us. 2 wonderful days with the NCSY summer programs. Monday we're back. Tu B'Av special starts at 6 a.m. Make sure to join us. What does Tu B'Av special mean? It means great music from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow night, of course, it's Avrami with Saturday Night Siegel, and Mat this Sunday with JM Sunday beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget that our full Friday schedule now includes Mark Zamek's Erev Shabbos show beginning at 10 a.m. right after Naomi Nachman and Table for Two, which starts next. And, of course, Kedem presents our Erev Shabbos music mix all the way until candle lighting time. Big thank you to David Cutler and everybody at NCSY Summer and everybody here at Michlelet. Much appreciated. And a big shout-out to Amy Moskoff. Amy Moskoff, a brilliant producer of two great shows for us here at JM in the AM. Big thank you to Yoni and to Avrami and to ZK and, of course, to Miriam L. Wallach. Until tomorrow, until Monday, Nachum Siegel reminding you, remember the past, live the present, and trust the future.